Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. 3 wins in a row, that doesn't sound like me. Okay, so we got the D1, or is this Eternal D6 D1? 084C T8T7. Rate of fire and damage are really good. Onk is nice. Varicose veins is Tammy's head if we get hit. Now, is the D1 the one where it's like, who knows what it'll be? If so, once every 4 rooms, is that like the average charge of all the dice? Like, I'm trying to figure out how to use it to test it. You know, half of science is just designing a good experiment. The other half is dealing with all the bitches and fame that come after. That didn't feel good. I apologize to all my viewers out there, but the term had to be used in order to establish the absurdity of the joke, in spite of it besmirching the character of the speaker. Now, we don't really like this. I guess I'll try this and see if it miraculously re-rolls it. Dope. Okay, so that's around the time where I go D1, Isaac. What does this do? Duplicates 1 random pickup in the current room, including cards and runes, chests, and trinkets. So if we drop something, and then it's the only thing on the ground, we can duplicate it. Okay, I understand. We want to use this to duplicate, like, high-value runes, cards like the Hierophants, or really, like, whenever it's available, we want to use it on any card, because then we just get an extra copy of it. So once every 4 rooms... I'm gonna come up with a shorthand rule for this to make it easier to remember. Once every 4 rooms, we get a consumable of our choice that we already have. Like a justice card, for example. It's almost like we have blank card justice, because once every 4 rooms, I can create a justice card. God, I'm a genius. Once every 4 rooms, we can create a justice card and then use that justice card and pick up all the stuff. So that's not that bad, honestly. Like, we just have to make sure we're using it on a room where the justice card is actually, you know, the only consumable on the room. In which case, it should work fine. I kind of like that. I kind of like this right now in a roundabout fashion. See, like, there we create another justice card. And you know what's nice about this item? It's sort of low pressure. There's, like, no way to get more than one. Like, it's not like Yara where it stacks, so there's no real reason for us to try to stack it up over and over and get these ridiculously powerful plays. Instead, so check for second secret room and open this chest. Shouldn't have stood there, that's a little dicey, but instead, we're pretty much just good to go as is right now. It's kind of, it's low pressure. I know I've said that word a couple times here, but I feel it. Secret room. All right, beautiful. Sure, you know what? Do we want another justice card? Or do we maybe want a nickel? Well, here's the problem, isn't it? I think you grab the nickel, you leave, you drop Bloody Penny out here. You can see how this would get a little confusing pretty quickly, but then we duplicate this. We drop this on the ground. All of a sudden, we got a Spirit Heart out of it. We also got a key. We can use that key to get into our shop. Probably use the Spirit Heart to get into the Curse Room here. See what we got going on in there. Nothing of value, unfortunately. You know what? A battery charge is actually pretty freaking cool. Pretty freaking cool. A battery charge is pretty freaking good here, because you get at least 1 penny back, and then you get at least 2 consumables you like as well. Maybe a Spirit Heart as well. But what is it duplicated here? I don't know. That's a great question. I'll tell you what. We'll just grab more options. I think we'll grab the Spirit Heart as well. You might be questioning, hey, buddy. I don't know why you're calling me buddy. It's like we haven't established a level of mutual respect with one another yet or something like that. But hey, buddy. Why ain't you just killing yourself and then coming back with the Yonk? Well, the real answer is I don't really care to be Blue Baby, to be honest with you. I think I see the value in the D1. It's really easy. Well, first off, let's close the Isaac wiki, because pretty soon it's going to start playing an ad for, like, you know, Clorox or something like that. Not that I'm against Clorox. You know, people are always talking, oh, millennials don't buy fabric softener anymore. We got it all, dude. We got a different cleaner for the bathroom and the kitchen. That's the kind of lifestyle I lead. We got bleach. We got fabric softener. We got dryer sheets. We got the whole laundry selection. Let me dazzle you sometime with all of the laundry options available The bounty. But I will say, probably, it's really easy to conceptualize how to use the D1 when you immediately start with a tarot card that gives you more than one trinket every time you use it. So let's see what this card is. It's the Tower. So we really want to, like, drop this shit out here. This is going to get tiresome, tell you that. Duplicate this. Get a Justice card. Hoping for Spirit Hearts, but bomb key penny every 4 rooms, still pretty good. Definitely that's like ahead of our pace, which I like. And then we'll come in here and see what we got going on here. This is awesome, because there are 2 lucky pennies here, not to mention the sack, which could have a battery charge, and there's a battery charge that's only 3 cents. So we're getting disproportionate value out of that. Stay back. Foul creature. Hopefully we have a blood bank as well. We can get some value out of that. Hey. Okay. How do we start with this? No battery charge there. That's a bummer. I think you buy a 3-cent battery charge and then drop the Justice card and then see what happens. Does it double a consumable? Does it double a consumable from the shop or just the Justice card? Doubles a consumable from the shop. Good to know. Unfortunate we had to be the ones to find out in that fashion, though. There you go. Mad money. Thanks, Jim Cramer. Grab this. Leave the room. Leave this room as well. You know what? Fuck it. Just get rid of this card. Terrible idea. That was a horrible idea. Drop the Justice card. Pick this up. Duplicate the Justice card. Use this. Get a Spirit Harp. Okay, well, that's fine. Alright, but you can see, you know, if we get, like, Nun's Habit, all of a sudden, blood banks, we can play, like, infinitely and get infinite keys and bombs out of them until they pay out with an IV bag or a blood bag. But still, pretty good system here. Both of these items kind of suck. So we'll drop the Justice card on the ground. We'll pick up Bloody Penny. All this work, I'm hoping, is going to pay dividends one day. It hasn't paid dividends yet, but one day, it's all going to be worthwhile. We're going to be sitting in a mansion somewhere in Ecuador, and we'll look to the left of us and say, honey, this is the life. Thank God we put in all that time earlier. I don't want to ruin my Justice card. Thank God we put in our due diligence with the D1. And we got so many keys, and then we sold our key fortune. Live like kings. That's my dream anyway. Although it seems like a little bit of a pipe dream. Alright, so we got Monstro 2. Hey, Monstro 2, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Are you flowing? Man, I'd like to place my tears upon that freaking sexy face and scream. And scream! I don't really want HP yet, but we got HP. Let's see what we get in our deal with the devil. It's a 2-heart Incubus deal. That is amazingly good. Go back here, grab this, double it, grab this, use it. We got a Spirit Heart. We also got a nickel. What a time to be alive. We got so many bombs. I think you gotta check for a second secret room. That would have found it. That would have found it, probably. Okay, I had to know. Anyway, this run's great. Incubus is awesome. Rate of fire and damage are both good. HP's a little suspect, but that's really the only thing. And, you know, knowing that basically we have a very cumbersome version of blank card, I feel pretty good. The other thing we could do, I suppose, the next time we get a Spirit Heart to drop, don't pick it up. And then just come back to that room. And as long as there's only Spirit Hearts on the ground, we'll just keep doubling Spirit Hearts. And we don't have to do that with every floor, but we can do that on one floor to get our HP up to a decent position and then move on from there. Now, here, this should tell you just about how much I respect the poop, which is approximately 0%. We're going to take the Satanic Bible, and pretty much exclusively the reason we're going to take it is so that I can pick up a single black card and also get slightly closer to the Bookworm transformation luck down. Relatively minor, thanks to that awesome shop we had earlier. Again, doubling nickels could be worth it, but I think a Justice card, the majority of the time, is worth more than a nickel. Oh, I shouldn't have... It's only half Spirit Hearts, but still. We shouldn't have done that. Although there were red hearts in the ground we couldn't get rid of, so... At that point, maybe we're just lucky to be in this situation in the first place. Moon card. I'll use it. And that is that, I suppose. We definitely want to see if we get a deal with the devil here, but we want to go to our shop as well, because money, you know, we're not earning necessarily a ton of it, but we're getting at least 1 penny every 3 rooms now because of 9 volt. Didn't beat the odds, but the tiers upgrade is awesome. Okay, this is perfect. So we're just going to start doubling that room instead. And really the goal here is we're going to miss out on some bombs for a while, and there's no question about that. However, we're also going to get way more spirit hearts as a result. So it's going to be a little cumbersome, but the first time that you have a weird synergy like this, that's the best time to try it, right? And obviously, the big bummer here is that this isn't going to be duplicating. This is just going to be like adding 1. It's an iterative as opposed to a multiplicative, or an additive as opposed to a multiplicative operation, of course. But if we can pick up, you know, 3 spirit hearts, that's pretty modest. 4 spirit hearts, I think that's still well within the realm of possibility. Feeling pretty good about things. Wait, we got a battery charge in there. Yeah, we'll take PhD. Love to keep stacking up like 1 item per floor. You got to look at this and say PhD and placebo is also pretty solid, but kind of in the, you know, the realm of like who cares at this point. I also want to try to make boss rush happen, so I think I'm actually, now that we found our shop early, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna grab these 3 spirit hearts and then head down to the next floor. And we could have gone a little deeper, but at the same time, we're probably gonna have many more spirit hearts in the future that we'll be able to draw on for that, and I stand by this. Right now, I'm feeling the love for this item. I've had it a few times. This is just the first time that I've actually done anything decent with it. Is there a half heart on here? So we got a 50% chance of getting a spirit heart. We can fudge the odds, and we can throw down a justice card. Then we got a 33% chance of getting a spirit heart, a 33% chance of getting a justice card, and then a 33% chance of getting a doubled red heart, which we don't care about. But maybe we'd rather have the 50-50 odds because the spirit heart is better than the justice, or maybe we'd rather have the 2/3 odds that we at least get something we kind of like. Plus, I kind of like the idea of playing around with probability in here. So let's come in here, drop justice, pick up bloody penny, double. We got another spirit heart. Life's good. Now, the next time that we come into that room, we already have a 2/3 chance, and it's up to us if we want to go, you know, 3/4 chance we get something we like, or 2/3 chance we get a spirit heart. See? You can already... People are like, oh, fuck, I wish we didn't tell him what this item did. He's nerding out already. It's not really nerding out, you know? Nerding out. Uh-huh. Think I really feel it. East Coast feel it. West, you get the idea. Boy, I've been watching you on the Isaac Wiki, learning what items do. We don't really want to use that right now. You might be saying, by the way, that the Hermit card is an acceptable choice. It is an acceptable choice, but it's not the choice I want. I hate this room, man. It's not the choice I want, and the reason for that is, well, let's see what we got in here. Maybe it'll be even better. The reason for that is, the Justice card is just much more potent, so I think that we would be a little silly not to go for that. I think we're just going to go for the 2/3 chance, and life is cruel. We're going to walk back, and this is going to be our last backtracking, because we need to, at least within reason, have a chance to get the boss rush here. So I think we'll give ourselves one more play. It's 50-50 right now, and it didn't work out, but hey, we win the first game, lose the next 2. It's just what it's like being a Vancouver sports fan. Let's get out of here. The bulb, I don't think is ever going to be useful for us, because we're always going to want to use a charge, and we're always, at least it seems like we're always going to have an outlet to use that charge on immediately, now that we're holding a consumable we like and would like to see copied. So I don't think, and let me take it a step further, I think that it's bad to take dim bulb, or illuminated bulb here, because I believe that it only gives you upgrades, or stat upgrades, when you have a full charge. Might as well. When you have less than a full charge, or let me put it this way. Basically, I'm talking out of my ass. I think once you get over half of a charge for an item, it actually starts to give you penalties, or under half a charge. Ugh. It starts to give you penalties as opposed to benefits. So obviously I fucked this one up. But you know what? If we duplicate the battery, that doesn't matter. We did get the card. I'm just gonna grab the Spirit Heart, grab the battery, duplicate the wrong thing, but that's okay. So I think that it would be, it would actually be a net downgrade, because we would never have rooms where we had a full charge and got the maximum statistical bonus. We would almost always have a statistical penalty, just based on the fact that we're going to be using this item all the time. At least that's, you know, my plan as I see it right now. I think we're remarkably pretty close to making Boss Rush still happen, despite the fact that we've been extremely slow as a result of our D1 plays, but 2/3 deal with the devil chance here. I'm not sure 2/3 chances have worked out for us occasionally in the past, did not worked out in other times, so could be 50-50. Well, actually it's 2/3, I suppose, but get Roid Rage and a Krampus fight bothers me very little. I would, okay, I wasn't anticipating that. I would love to see Lump of Coal, and that's exactly what we got. Might as well just take 2 black cards out of this. Yeah, there's some, I like this item. There's some nifty flowchart thinking that you have to go through with this item, which I think is really, and yeah, you know you're gonna hate me for saying the word, but it's the best word I think for this situation. It's really novel to find ourselves in this situation where, you know, we're actually kind of holding like a template and then giving the game the option to copy off of that template to give us kind of like endless versions of it. I mean, we've had like 10 Justice cards over the course of this run. This is a neat selection from a young G's perspective. Before you duplicate a consumable, you better use a contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her man and learning her man, and at the same time burning her man. Someone explain to me what that lyric means. I understand what it means. It's that, you know, you never know, she could be doing right by her beau, and yet at the same time, or, you know, be screwing around behind his back, I suppose. But I still don't really understand what it means to be learning her man. Earning, I guess I understand. You know, you're earning your man. You know, he's good to you, and you're earning it. You're deserving of it. Learning her man, I don't understand. Maybe she's earning her man because she's learning her man. You know, she's learning, you know, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. King and I, etc., etc. Classic theater role for a bald bro, King of Siam. Little insensitive in this day and age, but still a classic Rodgers and Hammerstein. I've never seen it, to be honest with you. So we want to duplicate this, and this is actually important for the playing of this guy, because now duplicate this, pop a Justice card, get some extra pennies out of it, play this guy, grab this. Really looking for more syringes, because we're closing in. Ooh, all good pills must come to an end, must come to a friend's in the end. I'm drowsy, good pill. Trying to make it a little faster here. I still think it's very advisable to sacrifice some Spirit Hearts if you've got the stack. And if you got the sack. Sacks! I know that one specifically annoys people, so I'm trying to do it more often just to lower my market value to society. Come on, dude. You're not gonna do me dirty like this. Fuck it. I can come back as Blue Baby, see if I give a shit at all. There we go. Little Horn with Science Tears. Is this worth the cost? If it's luck dependent, then yes, I think it could be, because the Little Horn Science Tears are going to do some pretty wicked damage, but I don't know. I might just be saying that because, you know, again, sunk cost fallacy. I've already paid for the item. We might as well appreciate it. Thus, we don't feel self-conscious about our purchase. So we're going to be a little slower now as a result of that Demon Judgment taking forever. Or let's take personal responsibility. We're going to be a little slower as a result of making the decision to play that Demon Judgment until he paid out. Thank you, Science. Which means I'm actually going to slow my roll on the use of the D1, and maybe this is the start of the, like, this is the beginning of the end, you know? As soon as you stop taking advantage of the items that you have at your disposal, put yourself in a tough spot. But I think we do definitely want the syringe here. We're closing in on Spun. The speed upgrade is also nice. And then in here you get Diplopia. Now I'm just confused, to be honest with you. Figure we'll get a free copy of everything on the room, including a luck upgrade. And then grab this. Buy the luck upgrade, we might as well. And then, unless the boss fight is right up here, we're pretty much not going to be able to do the... In fact, like, every room that we go to just diminishes our chances of being able to do that, to go to boss rush. So, I still stand by this being, like, probably the right play. Although we did lose Diplopia. Like, I think that's... Where did our Justice card go? Did I use it? Or did I probably left it in the shop? Although I lost Diplopia, it's to keep the D1, which I think is fine because of the fact that this is a weird run. And this is the run on which we're, you know, taking the D... Okay, sure. It's the run on which we're taking the D1 for the first time, so I think it makes sense to try to get, like, the maximum possible value out of it. Just pretty much how things are going right now. So we're gonna narrowly miss boss rush. Hush is a maybe item right now. Suppose we could have doubled that a few times. There were battery charges back there. Hush is a maybe boss, not a maybe item. That just doesn't make any sense. You know what's a great deal with the devil for us right now? Black powder. Whenever we can get that item to actually pop for us, I love it. Rarely does that happen, but this is definitely a situation where it could fit greatly. I mean, we have 1.8 speed. Instead, no deal with the devil, but that's fine. We can get one on the next floor. Let's go into Ryan's Skype corner and see what people are saying. Austin says, Ryan, I ordered one of those meal plans. Dude, I'm stoked. I mean that sincerely. He's saying, well, you're probably saying, what are you talking about, one of these meal plans? Well, Kate started us on this meal plan service. People are very familiar with it because of stuff like Blue Apron. Blue Apron, I think, is the big one in the US. You know, oh, I doubled the chest. We could have doubled the red hearts instead, though, I guess, so it's not that bad. I'm just going to take this, even though we could double it. Basically, you pay a service. The service has a menu, and you go, okay, I want 3 meals a week, or, you know, for us, it's 3 meals a week times 2 because there's 2 of us. So we get 6 meals a week delivered to our apartment, and the meals aren't cooked, but you cook them. So everything's already chopped and prepared for you. They have the recipe. They've made, you know, if there's a marinade, they've made that. Everything's sliced and diced in the proper proportions and weighed out for you. And then they give you the recipe to follow along with. So you are still cooking, which is going to be a negative for some people. But you're really, it's just cooking Lego. Like, you're following the guidebook, more or less. Okay, I mean, I get it. And yeah, I understand. But, like, there we go. That's more along the lines of what I'm looking for here. Help. You're following along with the guidebook. And a lot of people, I think, have been like, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Why don't you just go to the grocery store, buy your groceries, it'll be cheaper. You're not wrong. It actually is relatively cheap. Let me put it this way. I think it's 10 bucks Canadian a meal, which is like 8 bucks American per meal. It's cheaper than eating out when it comes to, like, food that is not fast food. And fast food, sure, you know, most of the time you can get it relatively cheap. But, you know, you're getting up there a little long in the tooth. You don't want to be eating the McDonald's hamburger every night and then holding it over people's heads and being like, check it out, my meal was $3.50 tonight. How about you? So, but the thing that's nice about it is that the meals, first off, tend to be pretty freaking good. Fuck the Justice card. Like, of the 4 meals that we've had so far, like, a couple of them... Right now, of the 4 meals we've had so far, the first one I was like, it's just okay. The other 3 have been like, this is really good. Not quite like best restaurant I've ever been to, but like for home cooking, pretty solid. And the other thing is, it's very convenient. Like, oftentimes, if you make your own hours, and this is not me going on another stretch of like, oh, I'm so busy, you wouldn't understand what it's like to be this busy. It's so, no. But Like, when you make your own hours and, like, I stream, Kate streams after me, sometimes we wake up a little late in the day, you know, it can be 9 or 10 p.m. by the time she finishes her work day. If we want to go out to eat or we want to, you know, go grocery shopping, a lot of places are closed or they're about to close, and you find yourself kind of at a dearth of options for meal plans. So for people who make their own hours and maybe keep late hours, it's a great way to have, like, pretty cheap or at least reasonably priced, reasonably healthy, and you know, a variety of food items as well. So I'm glad Austin's getting on it, because, you know, I know those guys, they you know, they're young boys, they're sweet boys in the prime of their life, eat a lot of delivery. I think this is gonna be good for them, you know, get some cabbage inside of that body. I don't know why that was phrased so weirdly. I did take glitter bombs over kidney stones. I like glitter bombs. You know, if we get, like, fetus in a jar or something like that, I think we're gonna be stoked. So yeah, don't take this as me, like, selling the service. Wait, I don't know. I want to flip this, actually. Don't take this as me selling the service, by the way. If you don't want to get it, like, I'm not. These aren't sponsored videos. I'm not getting a cut. Oh my god, I did exactly the same thing again. And now we're just making it less and less likely that we're gonna double the thing we want to double. Yep, that's fair. That's fair. I'm an idiot. And that was even stupider, but I thought I could make it. Not that that makes it better. All right, we've kind of thrown away great chance on this run. I'm just saying, if it seems like the kind of thing that might fit in your life, then, you know, maybe consider giving it a try. So far, it's been pretty nice for us, but, you know, 1 week of bad meals, and we'll be like, what is we're wasting our money on this for? You can eat faster, or sorry, eat cheaper, I should say, if you're in college, man. I saw people in the stream that were saying this. They were like, why would $8 for a meal? That's crazy. I just buy a bag of dried, you know, beans, and then a bag of dried rice, mix them together and throw, like, some sriracha on top, and it's got all the... Look, if you're living that college lifestyle, more power to you, dude. That's money in the bank. If you're not living that college lifestyle, and I've been out of that for, you know, maybe, like, 8 years at this... Well, nah, that's not true. I've been out of that for 7 years at this point. Let's not try to stretch a molehill into a mountain here. Then maybe there's something to consider. Just throwing it out there. Not evangelizing it. You know, everybody knows somebody that's like, God damn it. Well, I guess we'd rather double the justice card still. Just give me a Hierophant card and I'll invest more here. Either way, everybody knows somebody. You know, maybe you got that friend who they struggle with weight loss or health or something like that. The first week of, like, a new exercise plan, it's like, oh my God, you've got to try it. It's called meal pairing. In the morning, you eat meals that have carbohydrates plus protein but little fat. And then when the afternoon comes, you eat meals that have protein and fat but no carbohydrates. And then it tricks your body. It shocks it into, you know, undergoing insulin tolerance, and then blah, blah, blah. You know, 6 weeks you're jacked. And then, like, 3 weeks later, they're like, yeah, I ate a bacon sandwich 4 times this weekend. You know, it's easy to lose that luster. So I try to avoid being evangelical about, you know, a product or service that I've been using, because the novelty counts for a lot in the human mind, I think. And then, you know, if you ask people how they feel about it 6 months later, they're more likely to be, I would say, more accurate. Not necessarily more reserved. They might even be more positive, but they're more likely to be more accurate to how their opinion actually is. So ask me about it again in 6 months. But I think if you're living that streamer lifestyle and you're like, I don't want to say, like, I don't want to insult anybody. I think if you're not so great with time management, which a lot of streamers tend not to be, it's just it's an industry-wide quirk. I mean, it's so easy to just be like, why would I go grocery shopping? I could spend another hour streaming instead, and that's my job. It's a bad attitude that I've been guilty of in the past. However, we don't want that. We don't want that. It's too dangerous. If we get immunity to explosions, we'll consider it, though. The flip side to that is... This might be a good look for you, perhaps. Maybe. Just throwing it out there. So we'll use 3 justice cards here. Kind of like the idea of just leaving, and I should have thought of this earlier, but this is my first time really using this item. I kind of like the idea of just leaving the first duplication on the ground, and then we don't have to fuck about with constantly dropping our trinket, and then, you know, inviting the chance for human error in there where I pick up the wrong thing, and, you know, maybe you're a smarter person than I am, and that doesn't happen to you, but it has the chance to happen to me, so stand by this not being a bad idea necessarily. Now, we're definitely not going to fight Hush. I didn't realize we had slowed down so much, but we did. Oh, right, now we have to drop our Justice card. I am also, like, I'm a little resentful, I guess is the word I'm looking for here, that I can't seem to find a better fucking card. Now, Justice is great value, especially in the early game, but, you know, we're not looking for that many bombs. We're not looking for that many keys anymore. Where the hell is our Hierophant, Emperor? Like, Emperor allows us to finish this run in, like, the next 5 minutes, assuming we don't die in the process, which is, I guess, something we should be concerned about. Where's a Joker card, you know? It's good for a proof of concept, but I'm ready to move up to, like, intermediate level strats. I at least have the theory right now. So Awaz I don't think gives me what I want here. Hagalaz doesn't give me what I want here. Algiz is good, but doesn't give me what I want. I kind of like the idea. I mean, Perthro's great. Maybe we should go Perthro, actually. I was going to say, like, take Blank Rune and then it could be anything. But I think Perthro is the best or second best rune in the game. So, and it's honestly close between Yera and Perthro. Sometimes on dailies, there's situations where you'd want to mix it up. You know, an Awaz rune can be really valuable, for example, but we've already seen our... Yeah, that was where we got Abaddon, so... to be able to just duplicate... Not duplicate, but reroll any item as it shows up is really nice, and Caffeine Pill is not necessarily great for us, but we have to take Perthro to the next floor regardless, so... We should have gone with Polydactyl, honestly, but... Can you blame me? I have infinite rerolls. It seems like... a waste to not take advantage of them. So yeah, blank card, or not blank card, D1 Perthro makes sense. I'm for it. It's actually a better version, although slightly more cumbersome, a better version of the D6 because the charge is smaller. And you can poo-poo my performance on this run in terms of damage taken and in terms of, you know, my use of this item. You know what, we don't actually want to do it on this room because there's money on the ground. Or sorry, there's a consumable we don't like on the ground, so we're going to do it back here. You can poo-poo my performance on this run by virtue of the fact that I have taken some damage I'm not proud to admit. I have not always used the D1 effectively. A couple of noteworthy examples where I used it like really, really badly. However, I made the effort, and just by looking up that... By looking up the wiki article, I've really improved my understanding of this item, and I'm excited to use it in the future. This seems like one of those items where if you don't know what it does, it's very easy to pass it over and be like, who cares? If you know what it does, it can win you the run. You gotta have the right kind of conditions for it, but it's kind of like, forgive the example, it's slightly clumsy, but it's kind of like Libra. Libra, a lot of people just will not take, but there are situations in which taking Libra can basically win you the run. You just need to know how to spot them. Like, my damage is shitty. My speed is ridiculously high. Then you take something like Libra and hope for the best. Now, as a rule of thumb, if you're only interested in winning, like, some of the time, you can probably just say, fuck Libra, I never need it. If you're interested in winning all the time, though, that's where things change. So certainly, I think we want this, and then... I do want Black Powder, and we could respawn as Blue Baby, but I think we should look for something just a little bit more, like, immediately great. So we'll try this, and I don't think either of those necessarily fit the bill. We will take 9 lives and live, and then take this, and respawn as Blue Baby? No, we respawn with... 9 lives always takes precedent over the Ankh, huh? It's a little surprising, isn't it? We had so many Perthros back here, I didn't mind. So this is one of those situations where it may actually, like, make sense to... We looked for a secret room there, okay. This is one of those situations where it may actually make sense to just accept that we're probably going to die 9 more times until we get a survivable run, but we actually do have great stats right now. Like, the amount of tiers we're firing, or the frequency with which we're firing tiers, combined with the damage of those tiers, is pretty top tier right now. That was an accident. On the other hand, we also have Incubus as well, which I didn't even mention, and, you know, is fabulous for us, so... I'm probably not going to invest too much into, like, getting a bunch of Perthros on this floor, and It really is stupid not to, but I'm not going to do it. And the reasoning is that it's fairly unlikely that these per throws are going to be... Whatever. Just take me away until I get to the Ankh. It's fairly unlikely these per throws are going to be relevant until we get down to the chest. So, that might be Bookworm, honestly. I mean, 2 of the books were Anarchist Cookbooks, so I guess that's why it didn't work, but I was hoping for the best. Whoa, okay, I didn't realize there was still some left alive. Okay, we made it. Maybe not quite as potent on this run as I was hoping for, but far from a bad situation as long as you keep your wits about you. That room was a little touchy, but we made it. Hey, shoop-de-whoop. Perhaps. Not that I wanted, but there it is. Hey, do I know you? No, but that's where you are. You're there. That's Jerry Seinfeld playing Austin Powers. Runebag's great. Most people don't know that I auditioned for the role of Austin Powers first. There's supposed to be a joke that comes after that. Vanessa! They had machine guns on their boobs! Alright, Jerry, we're gonna need to call you back. We've got a golden Canadian boy in the next room with the voice of an angel. And the chest hair of a god. It's not me, that's Mike Myers. Okay, so that extra 3 Spirit Heart gain there basically turned us into the equivalent of Blue Baby right now, which is awesome. Okay, well, you know what? If you're going to twist my arm, sure, I'll double the per throw right there. We should do this. We should do this. Should we have done that? That's highly debatable, but I'm going to make it out of it regardless. That was not a good Seinfeld impression, nor was the content of the impression good. So, you know, feel free to just let that one go. Not every joke can be like a, you know, Tortilla the hot dog. You'll get your money, Tortilla. That's an NLSS if you haven't watched. If you don't know, now you know. Please let me... I mean, it's my fault for, like, doing a complete 180 the way we were doing this floor, but... At the same time, with the dope rhymes that I kick, you know and I know I float some old funky shit to add to my collection. The selection symbolizes dope. Take a toke, but don't choke. If you do, you have no clue of what me and my homie Snoop Dogg came to do. Why do I keep repeating that? Well, what are you talking about? It's the first time I've ever said that. No, it's, you know, some people have mantras they repeat. You know, they look in the mirror and they go, you're beautiful. You're good enough. People like you, etc., etc. You know, I'm a strong warrior. I don't do that. Because I already know I'm the world's strongest warrior. The strongest warrior is the warrior that doesn't need anybody to tell him he's the strongest warrior because his skills on the field of battle speak for themselves. I truly believe that. This is not a jest, and you know that it's not a jest because I said it's not a jest. If I was joking, I would have said this is not a joke. That being said, it's like my mantra is like I want to keep linguistically flexible. I want to be, I want to have a malleable mouth. Not a malleable mouth. That he should remain in the rigidity that he chooses. But, algaes. I am, accordingly, going to practice my linguistic exercises in the mirror in the morning. You know, this is it, what? Lucchini pouring from the sky, let's get rich, what? The cheeky vines, the sugar dimes can't quit, what? Now pop the cork and stream the Vega and get lit, what? It's actually steam the Vega. See, that's why you gotta practice. So... I didn't even think about this, but the D1 on the chest actually is kind of like the world's slowest and worst per throw room, but that's not really that bad. Once every 3 rooms we get another item, and if we stack all these up, we can get mad per throw plays. Like we could per throw 16 items at once if we didn't like the items we had. Or we could get multiple per throws. And where do you draw the line there? Dude, I don't know. I'm basically just gonna make a bunch of chests, is my thinking right now. Tell you what, why don't we get 8 chests? We're 1 away from that right now, and then we'll start doubling per throw runes. And what constitutes a victory? What constitutes like a failure in that situation? Blank rune. Algaes. Blank rune. Algaes. Okay. What constitutes a failure in that situation is if we pick up all 8 of the items first try because they're all good, Well, on the one hand, we're like, hey, all the items are good. That's probably pretty sweet for us moving forward. On the other hand, we could have afforded to add more chests and less per throws. But we're going to add more per throws into the equation just for now, just to stay fresh. So I think this is reasonable. Basically, that's the equivalent of 1 Yera rune at this point. Just stepped on that. Not very intelligent, but we're going to... Yeah, why not? Still, this room should not be that bad. Get another bomb. We're trying to just, like, double our per throw, and then we'll open these. I guess we could open them right now. There's no reason not to. Oh, God, the Omega Penny. What an interesting situation to find ourselves in. It's halitosis. Honestly, like, half of these kind of suck. So, but what do you do with them? Here's what you do with them. Unless you're a little baby back bitch. You pick up Infestation 2. You pick up $3 bill. You grab the Omega Penny and you double it all. Oh! When it all falls down. Well, you know, life goes on. What was the dream there? Well, the dream is obviously you use Omega Penny. You get double the number of items. You look at the items to see if there's any that you want. And then you just, you know, per throw the rest. We could have had an amazing situation there. Instead, I rolled the dice, or I guess to put it more succinctly, I flipped a coin. And sadly, coin flip didn't necessarily end up taking us where I wanted to go in my life. But hey, dude, that's why they call it life. That's why they call it a life raft, because you'll never get out alive. So basically, again, as mentioned, I don't know what the hell happened to our damage there. Oh, $3 bill, right. We're just trying to get as many rooms nailed down as possible before we... Jesus. Before we get the Blue Baby respawn with Ankh. So... As of, oh, we'll go back for that. As of right now, it's pretty good. The more rooms we can get, the merrier. If we can beat the whole game without using the Ankh, that's obviously for the best as well. What should we do with this? If we ever find a chest, we should open it, see if it's worth doubling, you know, take the item, double it, etc., etc. I still love Omega Penny. Like, I don't think Omega Penny betrayed us here. We made the decision whether or not to use it. I could have just as easily have been like, yeah, keep going with the D1, get mad per throws. That would have actually been, you know, much better from a win-the-run standpoint, but we're probably going to win anyway, so who doesn't roll... You know, you're up $100,000 at the casino. You're like, oh, everybody's splitting their own drinks here, right? Come on, dude, live a little. We can't really do anything with the D7, unfortunately, and Omega Penny, so I think we'll just... pass on that. We're really looking for a passive item. Nothing. We're still gonna win. It's a little bit on the longer side. Like the run I thought for a while here was gonna be pretty easy, especially with the D1 working wonders for us, but took a little bit longer than expected, but that's all okay in the end. Yeah, okay, so here's what you do. You take Tiny Planet, then you double that shit, turn it into a penny with absolutely no purpose. That being said, really liking these, you know, scientific intergalactic planetary tiers here. I guess we should have doubled our chests. That's true, we did have Yera. We could have turned twice as many chests into single pennies. NL, that's not fair. You know we don't live in a deterministic universe like that. Well, I don't know if that's true. You know, you could have butterfly affected it, motherfucker. Haven't you seen the Ashton Kutcher movie? I've seen the Ashton Kutcher movie, but I saw the director's cut. As I said, I thought it was weird at the end of that movie. He goes back and spoilers. Spoilers. Consider yourself spoiled, son. He goes back in time into his mom's womb where he is a fetus, and he strangles himself with his own umbilical cord. And then people go, that's not how that movie ended. Did you even see that movie? I saw the movie. That's how the director's cut ended. I didn't see the original version. I believe in the original version, he just decides that his existence is too much trouble, and it bothers the girl that he's in love with, so he just goes back in time to be like a kid, and he tells her, like, she's ugly, don't talk to me, or something like that, and you're like, oh, what a selfless warrior. He's fallen on his sword for the sake of mankind. Please let me live. Okay, we did it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.